Shalom, everyone, and blessed be the name of the Lord. Welcome to Glorious Woman Daily, and here, by the grace of God, we are about equipping men to become glorious women daily, to become women of faith, for each one of us to become the Eshet child woman of valor, who is our warrior, and to apply godly wisdom in the tiniest details of our lives. Let us allow the Holy Spirit to teach us, and let us learn and grow together. Welcome to today's learning session, and that we will learn about misplaced priorities. It is the last book of the Old Testament. Prophet Haggai writes 2 chapters, just 2, that are full of insights and gives us direction. A balance in this life today are priorities. A number of Jews, the remnants, were now back to their native land after spending good full years in exile. As a human being, I totally understand the path they took, which even to them seemed so right. God, through his prophet, questions their priorities. Something was off with the way they chose to rebuild their personal homes and the nation at large. While the temple was in ruins, each person was busy building their own house. They were doing the opposite of what they were supposed to be doing. They directed all their resources and time to the rebuilding of their lavish homes, while that of the Lord had no one to attend to. Reading through the 2nd to the 4th verse of his 1st chapter, Haggai puts it this way. This is what the Lord Almighty says. These people say, the time has not yet come to rebuild the house of the Lord. Then the word of the Lord came through the prophet Haggai. Is it a time for you yourselves to be living in your paneled houses while this house remains a ruin? For a minute, I tried to imagine what these people had come to after 70 years in exile. They had a lot of cleanup to do, land to cultivate, and a lot more to do, and still the house of the Lord. I think we can all understand them and understand what they were doing then. They were trying to settle down, but this is not what the Lord wanted them to be doing at that time. Rebuilding the temple was more important at that time, and thus was supposed to be top on their list of priorities. At that moment, when they were supposed to be restoring the worship of God in their lives, they directed their effort somewhere else. God wasn't opposed to them making their places neat. It's just that he knew what was important to them then. We are no different today. We could be doing something that we think is more important to us, yet it is not. You could be busy doing admirable things out there, but is that what God is expecting you to be doing right now? Are you doing what is supposed to be top on your priority list? One time, and yet you might find yourself in such a situation, working so hard on something you're not supposed to be working on, overworked, tired, overwhelmed, frustrated, and even exhausted, and your life off balance. What then do you do? I would encourage you to consider prayerfully what God has given you to do, or rather your list of priority, and rearrange yourself accordingly. Give careful thought to your priority list, and may God help you. It may seem important to you now, but probably it is not. Pray then that you don't go amiss. Pray that God will help you not to get it wrong. Thank you for being with me till the end. If the Lord wills, we meet in our next learning session. Always remember to pray and have a passion for God. Shalom, Glorious Woman Daily.